After the Pentagon revealed hundreds of reports about unidentified aerial phenomena, the question arises, are we alone in the universe? In fact, scientists have long been exploring this topic, and now a new study has given us hope that we're not. Ready? Let's take a look. According to recent research, for every 5 stars, one of them hosts an Earth-like planet. Dr. Lisa Kaltenegger, an astrobiologist at Cornell University, USA, said that in our Milky Way alone, there are about 200 billion stars. This means there could be up to 40 billion potentially Earth-like planets in our galaxy. However, some of these worlds may indeed harbor life. She continued, right now, we are focusing on gases, things inhaled and exhaled. If you see something unusual on one of these planets, for example, a smear on the ground, that could indicate life. That is why we use telescopes to search for signs of life. But you have to be extremely careful, because there could be a geological process unlike anything on Earth that you've never encountered before. She also added that life on Earth requires water, but water alone is not enough. We hope to find oxygen, but oxygen alone is not sufficient either. We also want to detect methane. This is why I initially created a model of Earth through its different geological epochs to determine during which periods signs of life would have been visible. No one had ever tried this before. So, how long has Earth been a habitable planet? We estimate about 2 billion years, because that is the span of time when oxygen and methane interacted in Earth's atmosphere. So, the researchers argue that to detect life in the universe, you have to consider 2 things: where a planet is located and its age. According to the study, we are now approaching the capability to detect life in the universe because, for the first time, we know that many planets exist and we know where the nearest ones are. We also know that on an Earth-like planet, within a span of 2 billion years, you have to observe both its air and atmosphere. But how exactly do we find these planets? Scientists use a method called transit photometry, which involves finding planets outside the solar system by measuring the brightness of stars. An example is the TRAPPIST-1 system located 40 light-years away. It consists of a small red dwarf star and 7 rocky worlds within the habitable zone, meaning that some of them could have liquid water on the surface. They are called TRAPPIST. Uno B, Se, De, A, If A, G, and H. In order to find out if these planets have life, scientists need to know their atmospheres. However, this is not easy to do. One way to learn about the atmosphere of a planet is by looking at the light from its star. Dr. Kaltenegger is a member of the Near-Infrared Imager and Slitless Spectrograph NIRISS team, one of the instruments aboard the James Webb Space Telescope. It will launch in December and is expected to revolutionize astronomy by seeing farther back in time and in greater detail than any telescope before it. NIRISS will enable scientists to observe the TRAPPIST-1 system along with its rocky worlds. When a planet passes between the Earth and its star, the starlight filters through the planet's atmosphere. That filtered light reaches my telescope after passing through the planet's atmosphere. The molecules it encounters each have unique structures. They need different amounts of energy, different colors of light to vibrate and rotate. By analyzing which wavelengths are missing, I can tell you what is in that planet's atmosphere. Scientists already know some basic facts about the planets in the TRAPPIST-1 system, such as their size and mass. However, observations with James Webb will allow them to learn much more about their atmospheres. The mission will also help scientists determine whether the planets have an atmosphere or not. Some theories suggest that due to the system's proximity to Earth, the planets could have a substantial amount of oxygen in their atmosphere. Others say the opposite. Scientists want to collect data to prove one of the theories. The researchers explained that with the James Webb Space Telescope, an observatory designed to detect infrared radiation from solar system objects, we can only study the atmosphere of a planet as it passes between us and its star. At that moment, the starlight filters through the planet's atmosphere. That filtered light reaches my telescope after passing through the planet's atmosphere. The molecules it encounters each have unique structures. They need different amounts of energy, different colors of light to vibrate and rotate. By analyzing which wavelengths are missing, I can tell you what is in that planet's atmosphere. We can only examine the atmosphere in this way because if light hits the surface, it reflects back and does not travel straight through my telescope. So, for now we are limited to detecting gases. You might think that this is a complicated and painstaking process, but it's all worth it in the end. Just imagine how thrilled scientists must feel when they manage to capture the first image of a black hole or when they discovered water on the moon. Dr. Kaltenegger says, looking at Earth's evolutionary history, the more oxygen we had, the richer and more complex life became. So, if we find a planet with 30% oxygen like during the age of dinosaurs, then large or complex organisms could exist. That would be a stunning discovery, and I believe humanity would see it as its greatest adventure. The scientific community is global and tightly connected. Nations would unite resources to build a truly massive telescope. As part of the project, experts plan to build the next generation of telescopes called the Habitable Worlds Observatory. They will be larger than James Webb, If we find oxygen, then we'd have to search for other signs of life on the planet. According to Dr. Kaltenegger, life on Earth began about 3.7 billion years ago, but it was only 2 billion years later that oxygen began to accumulate in the atmosphere. So, we are interested in planets that are at least 2 billion years old. Furthermore, we know that ozone absorbs ultraviolet radiation. So, we can look for ozone as an indicator of life because it will shield the planet. Also, scientists believe that plants played a significant role in producing oxygen. Hence, if there are plants on a planet, it is likely that it has oxygen. Plants reflect chlorophyll, and we can look for that color in the planet's atmosphere. Researchers have even developed a theoretical model that helps identify planets suitable for life. It takes into account factors such as a star's temperature, the planet's distance from the star, and its atmospheric pressure. The model uses these factors to calculate the star's radiation balance and determine whether the planet could support life. However, scientists have yet to find strong evidence of life on any planet, but maybe it's not that simple. You see, a civilization capable of launching spaceships and traveling between stars would probably leave a bright light in the sky, so there are higher chances to spot it. This brings us to the question: can aliens spot us? Could a civilization just 100 light years away have already spotted us? Dr. Kaltenegger believes that aliens may be just 100 light years away, but they aren't visiting us because we aren't that interesting, she said. I don't know if we are that interesting. I love Earth, but it's naive to assume everyone out there would want to immediately visit us and talk to us. I believe that by searching for life or Earth-like planets, everything we learn out there will also help us understand and better protect our own planet. I think we will discover a habitable planet in the near future. That is why I am working so hard to make it a reality, and so are many others. While scientists are yet to discover life on other planets, they have made some exciting discoveries recently. For example, scientists have found phosphine in Venus's atmosphere. On Earth, phosphine is only produced by living things. However, on Venus, the atmospheric pressure is 90 times greater than on Earth, and the temperature reaches 464 degrees Celsius. So, scientists believe that the presence of phosphine could mean that there is life on Venus. Then there is NASA's Mars rover, Perseverance, which landed on the red planet in February 2021. Its mission is to look for signs of ancient life on Mars. The rover has already sent back some incredible images of the Martian surface, and scientists are eagerly waiting for its findings. Another mission is ESA's JUICE probe, which launched in April 2022 to explore Jupiter and its moons. One of the probe's targets is the moon Europa, which has a subsurface ocean of liquid water. Scientists believe that the ocean could contain more water than all of Earth's oceans combined, and it may also have more than twice the amount of water as Earth. So, while we wait for the James Webb Space Telescope to begin its mission, we can rest assured that scientists are doing everything they can to answer the age-old question: are we alone in the universe? The future of space exploration is thrilling, with groundbreaking projects like NASA's Artemis program aiming to establish a lunar outpost by 2028, and plans for a manned mission to Mars by 2030. These endeavors hold the promise of not only expanding our understanding of the cosmos, but also ensuring humanity's future among the stars. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think we will ever find life on other planets? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more updates on astronomy. Thanks for watching.